We're going to start off with section 1.1 talking about angles. And we're going to just go over some of the basic definitions. In trigonometry, an angle consists of two rays in a plane with a common endpoint. For example, we have one ray coming out like that. And then we have another ray coming out of the same endpoint. We call this initial ray our initial side. And we call the other ray our terminal side. And their common endpoint, in this case, we call the vertex. The angle in between those is measured right there, in between the initial side and the terminal side. We could measure this angle in two different ways, depending on which way it's opening. If we're looking at it measured counterclockwise, so for example, if we start off with that initial side going horizontal and we measure it counterclockwise like that, that's considered a positive angle. If we have that same initial side, but now we're measuring it clockwise, now that's considered a negative angle. The most common unit for measuring angles is the degree. 360 degrees is a complete rotation. So if we start off with our initial side again and go all the way around back to where we started, that's one complete rotation, and we write 360 degrees with our degree symbol. We could break this apart. So if 360 degrees is one full rotation, then 1 degree is going to be 1/360th of that rotation. If we talk about 90 degrees, so 90 degrees is going to be 90 of the 360. And we could simplify that fraction to be 1/4. So 90 degrees would be 1/4 of a complete rotation. So if we think of, again, there's our initial side, we have the full rotation all the way around, 1/4 of the way around right there would be 90 degrees. 180 degrees, again, that would be 180 out of the 360 if you simplify that fraction to be 1/2 or 1/2. So again, if we have our initial side here, halfway around would end up coming straight across in that direction to there would be 180 degrees. And we could keep going if we had 270 degrees. Again, that would be 270 out of the 360. Simplify the fraction would be 3/4. So our angle would go 3/4 of the way around to right there. We can categorize angles into different groups depending on their measure. So any angle that's between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, we call an acute angle. So an example of an acute angle, if that's our initial side, anything less than 90. So anything somewhere in here, that would be, and maybe that's 45 degrees, would be an acute angle. An angle that is exactly 90 degrees is called a right angle. So if we have our initial side here, exactly 90 degrees, like we just said before, 1/4 of the way around, 90 degrees. A lot of times we mark 90 degrees with a little box in the corner right there. So we know for sure if it's 90 degrees if it has that little mark in the corner like that. And then it's a right angle. An angle between 90 degrees and 180 degrees is called an obtuse angle. So we had 90, which was quarter of the way. 180 was halfway. So somewhere in between those two, maybe like 135 degrees, would be considered an obtuse angle. And last but not least, an angle that is exactly 180 degrees is a straight angle. Kind of the same thing as a straight line, but starting with our one ray going in that direction and coming all the way over going in that direction, 180 degrees, just like that.